That's like saying I got bread, I got peanut butter, I got a kiwi, and I got mustard, and I'm gonna put it together in a sandwich, and then I'm gonna put that sandwich in the microwave. What
Yeah.
temperature is the microwave on? Nobody knows.
I like how we all get silent like right before I say, yo, I'm about to start recording. Like we haven't been talking for the past like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's because you used to say some of the most heinous things I've ever heard.
And welcome to another grand episode of Dots and Lines. This is where the Wednesday Warriors meet the hard A's. We're here to talk about anime, manga, comics, and everything in between. So please introduce yourself.
It's your boy Mikanel, your friendly neighborhood Renaissance man. I do all the things with all the stuff.
And I am Grayson Red, a big old nerd here to talk about some comic books. Unfortunately, we do not have Mr. Sniffles with us today because it is his birthday. More fire, more fire. So,
big ups.
Big ups. He's off celebrating, so it's just going to be us today. But we got enough to talk about that I think we're going to make it through.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, as is ritualistic punishment and torture, One Piece. This actually was really, really cool. But you know, this attack came specifically from the Busdown Behemoth himself, Shamrock.
Busdown Behemoth is crazy.
Listen. I had a really good time with this episode. I did. I'm not going to lie. For the first time in forever, I had a really good time with this episode. We finally get Shamrock pulling up, showing what he's worth, and using that sword of his. After flexing like, yo, who you talking to like that? Hey, yo, Blood, who you talking to like that? And then pulling up with this real quick. If that wasn't disturbing enough, once you see like a sword with mist coming from it, usually nothing good comes after. That's a fair assessment, right? I'm not tripping.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, most of the time, especially in an anime like One Piece.
Bro. And then I remember reading this in the manga. Hold on, wrong image. Bow.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, no, this drawing was crazy. It was crazy.
Brother.
Yeah. I think I guess like not my issue. The thing I like about it is the fact that we're still getting expansions on the world of One Piece, right? Because the fact that inanimate objects can eat devil fruit was something that was hinted at a long time ago, and they just like mentioned it very offhandedly and very flippantly. But with this, and then what happens later in the arc as well, we get more into the importance of inanimate objects eating and absorbing devil fruits and becoming almost entities themselves, because devil fruits themselves have an entity and a mind of their own.
Yes. Yeah. They have souls, one would say.
Yeah.
I thought, first off, just the action with Shamrock and Gonko thrashing Loki. Loki been getting tore up.
Yeah.
Loki really has had a bad time since the very beginning. We see him chained up, and then he gets stabbed by 3 literal Cerberus heads.
Mm-hmm. God. That's beautiful, though. It's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, it's incredible. I really like how they did it. But also, we get to finally talk about the bigger secrets of the world. You know, they take us so long. It's like a drip IV feed of the really cool stuff that's happened millennia ago. And we get the whole 3 worlds thing. We're in the 3rd world. It's been destroyed and created. And eventually Luffy or Sun God Nika, however you want to dice it, will destroy this world and we'll have something new or better.
Mm-hmm. Which is the whole thing that Luffy is trying to do. He's trying to dismantle the world. So, I mean, it's kind of par for the course. It makes sense.
It's par for the course. We're going to dovetail into the conversation about the manga after this.
Mm-hmm.
This was cool, right?
Yeah.
It didn't hit as hard as when I saw it in the manga. personally.
Yeah. I think that when we saw it in the manga, one, the pacing was a lot different, so we weren't like waiting for it for weeks and weeks and weeks for it to get to this point. And two, I don't know, it just like the panel hits harder for me in black and white than it does in gold.
I think so. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. Yeah, and I guess also the shading in the manga when I was reading it really
Yeah.
like depicted how scary that big beast is that's eating a sun. That I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming is Emu, but who knows?
We'll see.
We will see. I remember this hit the One Piece community like crap.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It lit it up like Egghead.
Yeah, when this hit last weekend, I really didn't see too much buzz about it.
Yeah. And that's the thing about like the One Piece discourse is like I haven't really seen anything about it. And One Piece is apparent like cooking right now, but I haven't seen anything. It's been crickets.
Well, let's talk about manga talk.
Hmm.
We are spoilers. In the manga right now, Luffy's fighting Emu.
Yeah, we're
Like that's
there.
happening. We are here. And for such a crazy thing that's been alluded to happening for so long,
Yeah, it's kind of mid. It's kind of mid.
I could definitely
in,
say I'm not as emotionally invested as I thought I would be.
yeah,
You know?
I thought I would be hype. The only thing I think is gonna come of this, so like, and I mentioned this early on, is that none of the new Yonko, like, Law, Kid, and Luffy,
Let's
they
also be
all.
clear because they're gonna tear us up.
Mhm.
Kid and Law aren't Yonko, but they're Yonko
Well,
level threats. I just want to
yeah,
say.
Yonko level threats, right, with their bounties being
Yeah.
above like
Three
whatever it is,
billion or
right?
whatever. Yeah.
They both took L's from people that were stronger than them, which gave us a level of power scaling that was like, okay, these guys are strong because Kaido was like the biggest bad at the time.
Yep.
But these guys are strong, but the level of power is different once we get into the end game, right? It's like you move up to a different level. Yes, you got power ups and stuff, but we're on level 57 right now, but you're really only like level 40
Yeah.
as far as like Law and Kid go. And they tried to challenge somebody that was stronger than them.
It didn't work out.
Law got jumped,
We did.
and Law's John kind of came to like had he fought Blackbeard on like the one, I
It'd be a
think
little
he might
different.
have.
He might have.
Yeah,
His whole crew wouldn't have been fucking destroyed. I tell you that much.
exactly. Yeah, but it was still showing the escalation of power is now different. When Kid went against Shanks, Kid was like, "Yo, I got this crazy power up. I'm about to work all this." Shanks can see the future, so none of that matters. And
Cooking.
yeah,
Cook that nigga.
so took him out. Kid is dead, maybe. Kid is probably dead because he sank to the ocean and it got done for he can't swim. So Kid probably dead. But we got the escalation of power. And now that we moved into this, Luffy's the only one who hasn't taken an L yet
In the new world.
in the new world.
And,
Well,
you know,
since
since
I'm
the
saying
first time
since
he lost to
Kaido.
Yeah. Since
No, I'm
first
saying
Kaido.
since Kaido, since
Oh, yeah,
since
no.
they all got that new status,
Yeah, no, yeah.
Luffy's the only one of those three who hasn't taken the L.
Correct.
Because Luffy went to Egghead and wrecked shit. He didn't lose an Egghead.
No.
But that would have been so the immediate arc after everybody else, they did the thing with Kaido, and their immediate next arc, they all took L's.
Yeah.
Luffy's next arc, he ran shit. And he ran with the 5 elders and ran it, right?
Yeah, he was
But
running.
now,
He was running.
yeah, but now I think this is the part where he loses.
Well, he should, right? At this point in time right now, with all the crazy powers that Emu has and being able to kind of distort reality with those black flame balls or whatever they're doing, it's like too much too quick. And we saw how Emu dog walked Loki.
Mm-hmm.
Dog walked. Okay. He got a couple of licks in, and then that really just wasn't enough. Do I believe that Luffy is that much more powerful than Loki right now? Remains to be seen. I don't believe it though. I mean, nigga, you gotta show me.
Yeah.
And I even though this character's been alluded to for what, like 300 chapters now, I feel almost no real fear. Like the first panel when Emu touched down, I was like, oh, word. And then since then,
yeah.
I don't know. Listen, I've had the same Twitter for a while. So I like my private account that no one knows. I remember seeing how that Kaido fight had niggas jumping.
Yeah.
I remember the night that, he finally mastered Advanced Conqueror's Hockey, how I couldn't escape that panel on fucking YouTube. He is currently fighting Emu right now, and maybe everything's changed in multiple algorithms in my social media. It's not as big of a deal.
It's crickets. It's crickets, which is crazy.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like this was supposed to be like I know like Blackbeard is like the big bad, but like this has got to be like a big bad, right? This is not far off.
I think the problem is that Egghead spoiled us because Egghead gave us so much. Yeah. And then it was like gas. Because Kaido's arc was gas, Egghead was gas, and now we're just kind of petering out almost.
Well, we are petering out. But let me tell you something. Because I thought I was tripping. I'm like, why do I not feel hype about this? This should in theory be good. And I did a couple deep dives, and I've seen various opinions about the Wano arc that I kind of shoot to the side because I was enjoying it so much. And apparently rumblings about how post time skip One Piece has been annoying people for a while. And maybe subconsciously or consciously, whatever, people are like, the jig is up. I'm kind of over this same formula. We go to an island, people are being wronged by demon oligarchs. Straw Hats save the island and dip. And I mean, the pattern.
It's Dragon Ball Z. What do you? It's Dragon Ball Z with pirates and tyranny and terrorists. Like, what are you talking about? It's the same formula.
For sure. And listen, I can't lie to you. Yeah, it's a repetitive. It is absolutely a repetitive formula. It's a formula that's worked for like 25, 26 years. I don't know why people. I mean, I do know why. You can get tired of a story any period of time. But I personally loved Wano for the most part. They let me down. I loved Egghead. I don't see why people are having that much of a problem with Elbaf. It does feel mid, but it doesn't feel bad.
Yeah. I also think it's not exciting, right? Like there are exciting things happening, but it's not exciting.
Yeah, it's like someone giving you, okay, boom. Let's say you get some ice cream once a week, right? And then you slowly get vanilla ice cream. Okay, vanilla ice cream with some chocolate, like drizzle on top. Okay, vanilla ice cream with chocolate drizzle on top with sprinkles. Okay, now put like a gummy bear on top of it. Okay, now put a cherry on top of it. After a while, all that extra shit is like not that much better on top of something. You know what I mean?
I got you. It's like spectacle for spectacle's sake.
Yeah, it's like I can't even really taste everything because you're doing a little too much compared to what should be what I was used to being simple.
All I taste is sugar. I don't even taste the ice cream no more.
Yeah, like all I'm tasting, all I'm seeing, all I'm feeling is like, here's another big bad for Luffy. But we didn't get that much time to chill with Elbaf to really fall in love with making sure that they're okay. Because they made us anticipate Elbaf so much. Just getting there was the big, blow your load. Pause.
Yeah.
And then when we get there, you only get there for what, like maybe 20 chapters, and then all right, big bads are here. For many other chapters of One Piece, you're there for a significant period of time before like the island's about to be destroyed or people are going to be punished on the island.
Yeah. I think I also cared more because yes, Emu has been hyped up, but we haven't seen Emu do anything. Before we got to Wano, we saw Kaido try and kill himself and dropped on Kid's Island. Like we saw Kaido doing things.
Yeah.
We saw even though we hadn't really seen the Goro say anything, they had been hyped up to a degree that was like, yo, these are like the big bad. So when one of them pulls up, it's like, matter of fact, I think that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Because when the Goro say pulled up, it was like, yo, this is crazy. They're not supposed to leave.
That panel was
like
iconic.
The same thing. Emu's not supposed to leave, but Emu's here. It's like it's the same thing.
It's just more spectacle. And I don't know, maybe Oda's gonna pull it off and make it so at the end I'm way more hype. I like the flashbacks more than I like the main story, which is not usually a good sign.
Yeah,
Not usually
yeah.
a good sign.
I think somebody's going to die. That's the only way I see Oda like flipping this, is that somebody like Emu pulls up, Luffy and Emu square off. Luffy's probably putting belt to ass because Emu has like a timer, so Emu's getting weaker over time, and then in Emu's last moment, Emu kills somebody. And I really hope it's not Usopp.
Bro, I was just about to say, dog, if you kill my nigga Usopp after all this hype,
yeah,
for what, like 20 years saying, I can't wait to go to Elbaf, and he gets no feet, that's gonna be kind of annoying.
That's what not, I think it. I think so, because like, all right, look at it, right? Brook. So this was supposed to be Usopp's arc, right?
And it's a lot of Brook right now.
It's a whole lot of Brook. It's a whole lot of. Everyone has had their moment. Everyone has had their arc, but Usopp.
Yeah,
and this was supposed to be Usopp's arc, and so far it's Brooks.
Very odd considering how long we've been talking about Elbaf. And one more thing too, I've said this before, Oda was about to not do this arc, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Which is nuts. Like, why were you talking about it for about 20 years? Literally.
But what was he gonna do?
Yo, you tell me. I don't know. I don't know. It's very odd. Like, such a very strange choice. Like, what do you mean you weren't gonna do Elbaf?
I think
I gotta pull up that SBS article.
Yeah, please. I think Oda might be in the same place that like George R. Martin is, where like he doesn't know how to end the story. I'm sure he has an ending in mind, and I'm sure he's workshopping endings, but you also can't workshop it with a lot of people. Because if you do, and then it gets leaked, and now you got to pivot and change something else, or somebody has figured it out, so now you got to pivot again, because if the ending gets figured out and gets spoiled online, it will be the greatest fumble of all time. The greatest fumble in media for since like I don't even know
when.
Yeah.
A long time, bro. Listen, I want One Piece to finish strong. I'm gonna read the chapter Sunday. You know, we're really in it, y'all. Like, we actually read the manga. We know what's gonna happen. We like the past, what, I want to say 15, 20 weeks, we've been like,
okay, get to the point.
Now we've kind of gotten to the point and we're like,
yeah. I'm curious to see how they wrap this arc up, and I don't want it to be wrapped up on like some ass pullery, you know, because even Emu pulling up is still some ass pullery, because it doesn't, like, I don't get why it had to happen.
I don't think it had to happen right now, son. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Like, we're just getting spectacle, sprinkles on top of sprinkles.
Yeah, like, okay, so boom, you may not get to kill all those kids on the island, or whatever. Chances are Loki's still going to stay on the island. The island is very much so still secluded from the rest of the world government. So Emu's secrets won't even get out about what he did to King Harold. Spoilers.
Yeah.
So it's like, what is what? You know what I'm saying?
I'm also confused, right? So they went to Whole Cake to get Sanji.
Yes.
They went to Wano to get Zoro. Yeah. Right. And to stop Kaido. Right.
Yeah, that's the main reason. Yeah.
Why did they go to Elbaf?
It was just what they were going. It's where their path was going to go to. Remember, at the end of Wano, they had one of 3 paths, and their path led to Egghead, and then with Egghead, everything went down. The giants came to save them and said, "All right, we came to save y'all, but we're about to go back to home base." You know, oh, this is great. We finally get to go to Elbaf. You know, it's just where their path took them. It's not bad writing, in my opinion, but it's just nothing crazy's happened since.
No, I got you. So like, conceptually, right? We got to Whole Cake because Whole Cake pushed the story forward, in the sense of like, Sanji got a power up. We got to see more of the world, and we also got to fight a Yonko.
Right? Yeah, I was going to say, it made Big Mom seem way more threatening.
Exactly, right? So not only that, but we also saw what the greater world looks like, where Big Mom's number 2 is a Luffy level threat, right?
Yeah.
Then we fast forward that and we go to Wano. The goal of Wano was to stop Kaido, because Kaido's making false devil fruits. Which is an expansion on the thing that happened with Dofi,
And we got to
So we
protect
get
Momo's homeland.
yeah, so it's like we get an expansion on the story each time, and there's purpose for them being there, not just like, oh, we're here now. Like sometimes that have, but like thematically, there's a purpose in it. Whereas, and then like Egghead, thematically, the purpose was to get to the point of putting out that information, right?
Yes.
But with Elbaf, it feels like Thriller Bark to me.
I can totally see that. And we are still getting cool lore jobs. We find out God Valley. And we kind of find out spoilers about what the Void Century is about for the most part. You know, I don't know. We gotta wait and see.
Yeah.
We gotta wait and see. I'm kind of mild right now. Hopefully it picks up.
It's Thriller Bark with flashbacks.
Thriller Bark with flashbacks is crazy. Thriller Bark with flashbacks.
You want to get into Radiant?
Absolutely, I want to get into Radiant Black. Listen, Radiant Black, issue number 43. Speaking of flashbacks, this is basically a flashback issue. Long story short, Nathan, who had the original Radiant Black, he finished his arc at the Cataclysm War and went to LA to become a writer, which is great. Oh, sweet, Nate, woo! He's trying to follow his dream, and of course, we have to explain why he popped up in Radiant Black 42 with powers. There's this guy, 001. I'm not going to go a long backstory, but he's basically the precursor to the Radiance and works for the Existence. During the chicanery and the Cataclysm War or whatever, he gets a piece of technology from him. That piece of technology becomes important later on. What's more intriguing to me is him following his dreams, getting a decent writer gig, but in his spirit, he's still a hero. Like, he was the original Radiant Black for a reason. He wanted to save people. He was put in a position where he had to save people, and he did it. Even though he's following his dreams and he's doing what he wants to do, he keeps being like drawn to doing something more fulfilling, right? And which is a different perspective than we thought of him in the beginning. When we first meet Nathan, he is broke as fuck. All right. He is in extreme debt, and he has to move back in with his parents in Chicago because he couldn't make it as a writer in LA, which is very depressing. Shout out to all my millennials who understand. But through all the trials and tribulations he's gone through, he realizes he has kind of a higher purpose, and he keeps seeing, evil shit happen in the world. He keeps seeing that he can help, so he does finally help. He runs across this rich fuck who is able to boost up the strength of the technology he got from 001, and eventually he starts fighting crime again with a cool badass suit. Throughout the story, you get, little bits and pieces of him trying to avoid finishing writing because it's hitting too close to home for him. And it's mirroring the fact that, like, he really wants to do this, but he's stuck writing. And he finally made it. He finally has pretty much everything he thought he wanted to. He grew a sweet beard, but it's like, no, I think I want to get back to doing what I was doing before. And I'm sure he's going to do both, but sometimes you just have a calling, man. Sometimes
I have a question though. Like, who is a superhero, becomes a superhero, but it's like, you know what? I really want to work. I want a job, and I want to write. Like, what? You're a superhero, dog. What are you talking about?
Well, being a superhero don't pay the bills. No, I'll be honest with you.
I mean, it don't. Well, yeah, I guess.
He was broke as fuck. He had real millennial problems. He had to move back.
He could have got sponsored by Nike, dog.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I guess just do it.
Yo. Nike logo across the chest.
That would be fire. But he's I don't know if he's moving back to Chicago permanently or if he's going back there to help, because the current Radiant Black, Marshall, which was his best friend, is in a fucked up situation, but that's where he's going right now. And that will pick up where we left off at 42. This is a giant flashback issue explaining why he has powers.
Yeah, okay. Where he shows back up.
I just thought it was very interesting that you can have everything you thought you wanted, but what you really want was something you found along the way.
Yeah.
If he didn't go flat broke trying to be a writer in LA, he would have never wound up back in Chicago, and found that radiant black power, which sprung off this whole era, this whole story.
I mean, sometimes you got to fail uphill.
Sometimes you do have to fail uphill. You got to fail to figure out what you really want.
It'd be like that. As Digger would say, serendipity.
Serendipity with a splash of superheroing and that nigga was in a coma for a while. Don't wind up in a coma. Yeah. Shit was fucked up for him for a while, bro. It wasn't sweet. But we got to talk about some other stuff though.
The greatest.
Absolute Martian Manhunter, issue number 12, written by, I will say it for the first time, a young GOAT, Deniz Camp. Deniz Camp, a young GOAT. Listen, apparently DC just signed him to an exclusive deal. He is not working for Marvel no more. Listen, Marvel, you done fucked up. You done fucked up. This nigga is gold, son.
Yeah, because this book is crazy. Yeah.
Crazy. This is the finale of the Absolute Martian Manhunter series. And it wraps up perfectly. I can't remember the last time an ending for a maxi series was this perfect. My goodness. So it picks up where it left off before. John Jones damn near dead in a ditch.
Yeah.
And despair trying to take his fucking life while his son is still infected by the White Martian, leading a dance to death. Things are not good.
This is crazy.
This is insane. The art by Javier Rodriguez, once again, out of this fucking world, no pun intended. And it's just, it goes up and down and turns crazy. John sees a vision of his son dead. The Martian jumps out of his body to fight despair. And while all this is happening, John goes crazy himself and says, "This is all your fault." And then the Martian's like, "All right, we don't have time for this. It's time for a real empathy dive here." So
therapy.
Just intense therapy by melding minds with his soon-to-be ex-wife and seeing things through her perspective. This is where I almost started crying. You get to see his wife's perspective of meeting John. You get some deep, traumatizing situations she was with when she was younger, between her cutting herself, her parents trying to kill each other, damn near. And, they get this moment of happiness while meeting each other. Meanwhile, their son is still leading a dance through death while people are getting trampled, and you see some red eyes and cracks in the ground. What does that mean? What does that mean? We'll get to that later. We get this really cool moment where you find out that a lot of the trauma and the reason why the White Martian is infecting his son Tyler is because John still feels despair and discomfort with the fact that he wasn't the best dad, that he was kind of a bad dad at times. They allude to his son having autism, and that diagnosis causing a lot of stress in the family. And that level of stress was something that John couldn't deal with. So he recoiled himself into just getting deeper and deeper into work instead of being there as a family man and helping communicate. This is where the biggest theme comes in, I think, in all of the maxi series. Let me know. I'm yapping. So if you have a thought about this, let me know. Communication and empathy is what makes this book go round and what makes the world go round, but particularly this book. Their son was diagnosed with a certain type of autism that doesn't allow his son to really communicate through anything except for art.
Yeah.
So like physical touch is kind of awkward for him. There's even a panel in here specifically where he's like, I can't hug my own son. And his wife Bridget's like, just you're scaring him, chill out. And instead of taking in the empathy of understanding how uncomfortable his son feels, he just kind of runs out of the house and dives further into work, which is terrible. You know, not good for communication there.
Yeah.
But
no, I was gonna say, did you finish your thought?
I want you to talk first because there's more to talk about. Go ahead.
Got you. So I 100% agree with your take on that. Is like, yeah, the whole book is about communication and empathy. Like the way the Martian communicates is through empathetic emotions.
Yeah,
it is an empathetic being. It picks up on John's feelings and then displays them out in these beautiful Technicolor spread, right? But I think that's more like the theme with DC plays with abstract concepts so much. Like, because you don't have a lot of punchy, fighty characters in DC. Like, yeah, you got Superman, you got Wonder Woman, but like a lot of the other characters are more abstract in the way that they use their powers and the way that they are. And this kind of reminds me a lot of like Green Lantern, where Green Lantern's whole thing is the emotional spectrum. And that's it. That's the power system, is the emotions. How do you feel about a thing? Yeah. And I think we're very much getting that with this too, with the exploration of communication. Because the whole thing with the White Martian hijacking people's like negative thoughts and amplifying it to the point that they were committing crime and making them literally schizophrenic because they didn't have the proper way to communicate what was going on in their heads.
Yeah.
But the White Martian was listening, and now despair literally trying to articulate John's thoughts, but also amplified just the negative ones and even hijack them to a degree, which is exactly what depression does.
Absolutely.
Like, this book is a great character study on mental health. And to be honest, I'm pretty sure this will be taught in classrooms at some point in terms of like writing, because it's a master class.
It is a master class. It's incredible. We're not even halfway done with it, really.
Which is crazy.
So, yeah, like I said before, this is the way that Tyler communicates, through art. And John, being, a kind of hard-nosed guy who only wants to work, really doesn't get it. He doesn't make the effort to be empathetic with that, which comes to bite him in the ass. There's themes about reality cracking all around you, all throughout the book, because this is where we get comic booky. Despair appeared, if you remember, after issue 6 or 7, where Martian Manhunter had to go deep into reality. And what did he see? Fucking Darkseid. Because remember, this universe was created from Darkseid's whim.
Yeah.
So Darkseid is alluded to being those red eyes that's looking through the cracks in reality, ready to swallow everybody whole, which I thought was incredible. Because Darkseid, it's incredible because they talk about how, like, what's a god, what's a devil, what if our god is the devil, which in this universe it actually kind of is.
Yeah.
what do we do with that? What do we do when we come from such negative things, which we have an answer for later on. All of these cracks in reality and John Jones experiencing empathy, like true empathy with his wife for the first time in God knows how long, manifests in the evolution of his Martian vision. Now, Martian vision has been showed a couple times as like a blast of empathy somewhere, or you getting to feel something somewhere else. For this, he kind of has almost a cosmic awareness of the people around him. He gets an understanding that, each person is their own universe with like a million experiences. I can't just make them one thing or another in my mind. There are many different things. And instead of being judgmental, I'm going to use this word again. Maybe I need to be more empathetic. Maybe that would solve a lot of my problems. After he gets this big realization, and he finally reconciles a little bit with Bridget in their mind. Mind you, John's gone through evolutions of this, so he's more willing to bear all of the emotions of everyone around him. Bridget experiences it, finally has the empathy to understand, oh, you were actually talking to like a Martian being. You weren't just a crazy fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, but
hold on, can I pause you for a second though? Just like this coloring, like
insane.
the stark white with the stark yellow, and even like having the Martian's eye be his literal third eye, which is
Come
like
on, bro.
this is
Come
Jesus.
on. Come on, man. Like, this is next level stuff. I'm looking up who the colorist is for this. If it's Javier Rodriguez as well, this nigga is, give him a million raises. Jesus.
Yeah.
But yeah. Bridget experiencing all these emotions at the same time. This is her first time doing that. So she passes out. And he's like, I know you're gonna be okay. And the Martian also reassures, like, she's gonna be good in like 30 seconds. We gotta handle this thing, which is the white Martian who's infected your son and is like causing cracks in reality. So that's exactly what they do. And through this emotional breakthrough that John Jones has experienced, he finally just sits down and talks to his son. Just reaches out to him, says, I don't think so. Despair doesn't lie, but he has a way of twisting the truth. At the beginning of the issue, they said that Tyler is dead. You can't take these guys literally. So it's like, yeah, maybe the Tyler that I try to ignore, or the innocence of my Tyler is dead. But like, my son is not dead. Like, there is a way I can still connect with you. And I don't want despair. I don't want these negative emotions to come and tear you apart because I wasn't strong enough. We can still make a good relationship, son. I can meet you halfway. And just from extending his emotions, it's enough to let Tyler open back up to him and weaken the hold that the white Martian has. And then Bridget wakes up, and there they go. Finally, like a real emotional exchange where he's, for the first time ever, he's playing with the actual clay dolls or whatever, and it's letting Tyler express himself through his art, and he's speaking back in his language. And I almost cried right there, bro.
Dog, that's poetry right there, for real.
Almost cried.
Yeah, this book has the feel of an indie. It has the freedom and feel of an indie book.
Yes, it does.
With the main, you know what I'm saying? Like, even like, I really wish I could have been in like the writer's room when they were coming up with the concepts for the Absolute Universe, and somebody was like, Martian Manhunter plus emotional empathy plus acid trip.
It's from Fame.
Yeah.
And it's not everything's tied up in a nice little bow. You get to see the Martian, it fights the white Martian. And the moral of the story is, you're never going to get like bigotry and emptiness and sadness to go away all the way forever. It is unfortunately a part of us. But we can use our empathy and our hope and our willingness to be better and reach out to other people to make it as minimal as possible so we can connect and have better lives. Despite the overlooming negative that is behind us, we can move forward.
Crazy. And beautiful.
And it
this
all
panel's nasty.
It's incredible. It's incredible. It also alludes to the event that they're going to have later on this month, or this year, in which Absolute Martian Manhunter is supposed to be a big part of.
I mean, that makes sense. So far, he's the only one that has seen Darkseid.
Yeah, which is a kind of a big deal, which I'm sure we'll get to. It ends with something real cool. This book is about second chances. John Jones doesn't work for the FBI anymore. He's found a different calling. He is a private detective, which he was in the mainline universe. I think that's a really cool callback.
Yeah.
And like I said, second chances. Your boy, who was about to be divorced, looks like he has a second chance with his wife.
I love that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He's standing outside trying to win his bitch back.
Yeah, he got something sexy. I mean, she got something sexy on too.
Good for them. I love this book. I love you, Dennis Camp. I was about to cry multiple times. This is 2 weeks in a row, you fuckers. Stop doing this to me.
Yo, Martian Manhunter is cooking. Well, was cooking. This is the last issue. So
last issue.
Yeah.
And what an issue it was, man. 10 out of 10 book. 10 out of 10.
Easily.
Mm-hmm.
Those colors are crazy.
Colors are insane. My cat is currently being a brat. I might have to cut that part out. Start us. Thanks a lot.
Hard cut.
Hard cut. Yeah, no. I have nothing but good things to say about that book. I hope that it gets collected. I'm going to get it in a collected form. I might get a compact comic of it version. I don't know, but I'm going to buy it again.
Yeah.
Suggest it to people.
Yeah. I'm excited for when the compendium, is that what it's called? Compendium?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for when that comes out. I definitely need to own that.
Let's talk about something else. Unfortunate.
I was so disappointed.
Supergirl opens up to 38 million domestically. Lower opening than Morbius and the Marvels. Unless a miracle happens and this is a flop.
Yeah, which, that's bad.
Yeah. I will preface this by saying I have not seen the movie yet. I have heard many things. I'm going to reserve everything I feel about that until I see the movie because maybe it comes together much better. I do want to talk about what this means for the DC universe for James Gunn. It's not good.
It's not at all.
That is not good.
Can I go real quick about the movie?
Please.
So the movie, three things are happening here, right? One, superhero bros hate women in superhero movies.
That's a fact.
And they hate women in roles of power in comic book and video game media. We've seen this with the God of War situation. And we saw this when Supergirl was first announced, right? The vitriol that comes with that. So that's one thing playing against it. Yep. Two, the movie itself is dull and gray. It's boring, which is bad. The story does have moments, and it does have moments of heart, and it has like really cool moments of like when things are happening. Lobo is amazing in this movie. I want a solo Lobo movie. Jason Momoa was meant to play Lobo. I don't know why they cast him as Aquaman. He was meant to play Lobo. Like Ryan Reynolds was meant to play Deadpool, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark, Chris Evans, Captain America. They are born to play these roles because they fit so neatly into the archetype of what the character is as a human, right? Other than that, the movie is just kind of, it's a movie. It's an okay action movie, I'll say that. But in terms of comic book standards and given the source material that it comes from, it falls kind of short for me because the book itself is beautiful. The book itself is lovely. Yeah. And it's filled with such vibrance and such color and such life on every. I think Tom King, is that Tom King? Tom King. Like such vibrancy and such life, and even the characters. Every character is like unique, and they're not like this like fit archetype of like bad guy for bad guy's sake type shit. But I feel like I get a lot of that with this movie, and again, it's just kind of it's boring to look at. Whereas Superman was very bright and colorful and like poppy and like. Superman made me feel something when I watched it. I didn't get that from this movie. It felt like I was watching Star-Lord, which is like, I guess.
I want to shout out the artist of Supergirl, Women of Tomorrow. Yes, the writer was Tom King. Shout out Tom King. The artist is Bilquis Everly.
Yeah.
I bought the first issue of this off the stand, like the day it came out, literally for the art. Because I was like, who the fuck is drawing this?
It's crazy.
Crazy.
The thing I don't understand too is that I believe the director of this movie came out and said that they didn't read the book. And I might be paraphrasing. So
no, well, they didn't originally. I did a lot of research about this because I was like, I remember. All right, so this is where I never finished the book because I thought I bought it strictly for the art, to be honest with you. And I respect Tom King.
Yeah.
A lot of people have a lot of shit to say. I respect Tom King a lot. I read the first issue, said, I know where this is going. I don't think I'm going to go along for the ride, and I'm going to keep this issue because the art is so incredible. It ended up zigging where I thought I was going to zag, and actually became like a beautiful book. And I'm like, damn, I shouldn't have missed that ride. I'm probably going to read it this week. That being said, from everything I hear, take it with a grain of salt because I haven't watched the movie yet, of Supergirl, Women of Tomorrow, the movie, is what I thought was going to be bad about Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, the comic book series. Bland revenge story that is prototypical by the numbers. And they washed out a lot of those really cool, wonderful colors and images that made me attracted to the book anyway. From the trailer, I knew, I'm like, this isn't going to be as colorful or whimsical as the book that I read. Am I incorrect in that?
No, not at all. This is spot on. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I just don't get it.
I don't get it either. Now, the screenwriter, what's her name? Anna. I'm going to look it up right now. Anna, whatever. The screenwriter said that she did not originally, she was not familiar with this originally. And then she did read a whole bunch of comics and did a whole bunch of research and thought that the ending, which I already knew about, just didn't match what they wanted to do with the ending of this movie because it ends in the far future. Is that incorrect?
Yeah, it does in the far future.
So they didn't want to do that. So they just had spoilers. I got to watch the movie. I will get to it soon.
Mm-hmm.
They just had Kara do the killing, which was weird to me because at the end of the book, Kara does not kill because she deals with her own grief and evolves and realizes, you know what? Giving into my most base instincts just because I'm unhappy with how things went in my life does not give me an actual release. It doesn't make me a better person. I'm going to choose to be better.
And it's a retelling of the events from a third party. It's not even Supergirl's story. She's a character in the story that's being told. And the movie just it streamlines her as like the main like person. And even to the point of like the far-flung future situation, right? Still do that. Why not? There's no reason not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You throw things into the future, you show her older. You only got to show nobody else. You just show her a little bit older in a different colored suit or a different suit that denotes that time has passed, and you still keep the same ending. You don't have to change it. And this is something I say this often about comic book movies with people who write these movies who don't love comics, and it shows.
Yes.
Because what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say yes. You know, I don't want to make this a woman thing, but we need to have conversations about how we depict women in these roles. Wonder Woman 84, Patty Jenkins didn't really have the right idea about how to depict Diana, coming to the conclusion of a battle. Sometimes you need to actually slice a nigga's head open. Just talking while wind is blowing in your face really isn't the flex you thought it was. And sometimes in Kara's case, you actually don't want to slice someone's head open just because it's your first instinct. It shows growth that you can restrain yourself.
Yeah. And I think one with Wonder Woman's whole motif is you're going to catch these hands or you're going to catch the sword. And that's it, because she comes from a warrior people. So to have her not be a warrior first is crazy. And then two, like the whole thing with Kara, like, yes, the whole thing is to show her growth as a person with a godlike amount of power, which is what they did with Superman, which is why I don't understand it. I don't get it.
We can go into a deep dive about this. Characters like Black Widow dying at the Avengers movie. Allegedly, this is what a screenwriter said in the writer's room. They were thinking about getting rid of her or Hawkeye, and a woman walked in the room and said, "Don't take this moment from her." And it's like, I don't know if you understand, that wasn't supposed to be, that's not a moment for her. That's the end.
Yeah, that's not a flex. And I think we've come to a place where it's like people are trying to create moments for their demographic, right?
Yeah.
They're like, person is X has not been represented properly, so I want to represent this person properly, but then we lean too far into it.
The
And
pendulum
that
swings
could,
too far the other way.
yo, that could have happened with Mr. Terrific, where he was super duper blackety, pro black, super Negro, but he wasn't. He was a cool black guy.
Yeah,
And sometimes that's all it needs to be.
for
Kara
sure.
didn't have to be super duper into the thing that they tried to make her into. They just could have made her Kal-El's cousin who was struggling with her identity, who was struggling with the fact that her entire planet is gone. Like,
Which is powerful enough because she
yeah,
was
that's
old enough to
it.
remember. You know,
Yeah,
she lost everything, and her
exactly.
self-destructive behavior is a reflection of that. Like everything around her is destroyed. Why not destroy myself? Why not get deeper into despair, like Martian Manhunter? But you know, she actually made, which I think is powerful. I love
Yeah.
Tom King. I'm gonna read this comic all the way through now. I love Tom King for actually zigging where we think he's gonna zag because he thought the story was obvious, but it wasn't that obvious because he actually
Yeah.
has depth.
And then that part, and then to say that one, to read it and not understand it, but then to read it, know what the ending is, and then say, I'm just gonna change it. It's like you didn't
Odd, bro.
have to. You didn't have
Now,
to do that.
now I read the article, I believe, with Variety, where
Mhm.
she speaks about how this actually will tie into her character growth in Man of Tomorrow. Or I don't like that because it is the exact thing that James Gunn said he wouldn't do, where one movie just
Yeah.
leads into another movie. Like the script should be good on its own, and then you just keep making good scripts.
Yeah. And also it denotes that now her character growth is not tied to her directly. It's
Yeah,
gonna be tied to Superman because she's killed somebody, which means she is going to kill again, or at least attempt to kill again. And Superman's gonna stop her, and they're gonna have this moment.
yeah,
They're gonna hug and they're gonna embrace. But now her growth is not tied to her growth alone. Her growth is solely tied to Superman.
yeah. You
It's
said you hit the nail on the
weird.
head, which it's very odd for James Gunn, who seems like a master of storytelling, like to let that go down because he said that he's reading every script before it goes off. And
Yeah.
he said he was very proud and very happy that Anna was doing this script. Let's talk about some movies that are coming up, which I want to talk to you about if we are scared for or excited for.
All right, hit me with it.
So Clayface, this is the
Excited.
next thing to say. Yeah, I'm excited for it. The
Jazzed.
trailer looks really good.
Yeah.
Then we've got, Batman Part 2. This has been coming out for forever and a day.
I'm okay. Yeah.
Allegedly, like from what I understand, James Gunn, of course, does look over this, but this is all Matt Reeves. Like it was in
Yeah.
production before he even got over there. Like,
Yeah. I want to like it. Did you see the first Batman movie?
of course, yeah.
Yeah. My problem with that movie is that it ended 3 separate times.
It definitely ended multiple times. It did, and I liked it.
And
I liked it a lot, but it definitely ended multiple times. You
I
could have
think
gotten
it
out of
just
this 3 times.
just end it once. Just give me one story, like there's no need to do all that. And I get he tried to he wanted to throw everything into it and say, yo, this is Batman, it's different,
Yeah,
younger, year 2, we're in this, but
yeah,
it ended 3 separate times.
yeah.
Because I remember
Still,
watching it and I'm like, all right, it's over. Nope, still going.
nope, nope,
Oh, it's over. Okay, cool. That's a clear definitive. No, we still got more to
nope,
go. Oh, we're
nope.
in the water now. Okay, cool.
But I'm excited for that too. This is where the cracks start showing.
Mm.
James Gunn seemed really excited about this movie, and from what I understand, this shit is not coming out no more.
No. No one really cares about the Authority either.
No, but you know who should care about Authority? James Gunn, because he
Mhm.
was hyping it up, and he said he had a good script going. Of course, scripts change. I know it takes several rewrites for you to realize what you want to do with a movie, but you should probably pull back on stuff that you're not sure about unless you at least close to being done. You were so far away from being done that we don't even know if we have a release date anymore. That's kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, I do also want to throw another wrench in there for James Gunn because, yes, he is effectively the Kevin Feige of DC, but Kevin Feige still has bosses.
Yes, he does.
There's still an executive producer over him, whereas James Gunn overlooks everything and he gives a yes or a no. There's someone who has to approve his yeses and nos.
Yeah.
Because of the way the studio system works, he still works for Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
DC is a subsidiary of Warner Brothers.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, there's someone with a lot more pull and a lot more power who sits behind a desk who knows fuck all about comics, who writes off on yes or no, this thing happens.
Now, I want to talk about another crack in the armor here. The Brave and the Bold, which was announced to have Andy Muschietti directing it, cool. And then James Gunn was writing it, and he wasn't, and blah, blah, blah. This is supposed to be the movie with Damien in it. We've been talking about this for what seems about 3 years now.
Yeah.
Why do we not have any real? And unfortunately, we get spoiled and leaked for stuff all the time. It's just part of the nature of being a dweeb that's this far in as we are.
Yeah.
There is no leaks about any of this.
Because it's not real. But also, I want to go into another thing. Remember when they killed the Batgirl movie?
I do remember that.
They snapped it out of it. It does not exist. You can't find it anywhere. It doesn't exist. But Warner Brothers the person who is now at the helm of Warner Brothers was brought on to tank the company so it would be easier to sell. Which is hard to do when you have James Gunn putting out crack.
We got I have a lot of stuff I want to say about that, but I think it's more layered than that. That being said, you're not all the way off. I want to talk about some more things though, because there is I'm spoilers here. There's like 5 things that I don't think are going to see the light of day.
Okay, and I'll say one more thing about Brave and the Bold. I don't think it was real. I think it was a concept that he wanted to do, and he started it, and then shit picked up.
Possibly. Swamp Thing. That's not happening. I just don't see a Swamp Thing movie happening. I mean, I want it to happen. I want all these shits to happen. I want to be proven wrong so bad, but man, there's so little motion on all these things that you were so decidedly making sure it was going to happen 3 years ago.
I think Swamp Thing will happen if Clayface does well.
That'd be awesome. This is where I want to tell you I'm the most afraid. We have the new Teen Titans movie written by none other than Ana Noguera. That's the same person that wrote Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Not a fan of the idea of a Teen Titans, which is a teen book, which is already hard to make into a script for, being written by the person that fumbled a solo that already had a very distinctive evergreen comic for her to take notes from.
The storyboard is literally the book. You just follow it.
Expound a little bit. She took some stuff away and replaced it with stuff that nobody wanted.
No one asked for this.
So what's going to be? And James Gunn said he's not really into doing origin stories. Are we going to do Teen Titans with no origins?
Which is you have to establish. So a team like the Teen Titans, you have their origin is pivotal. It's like Spider-Man, right? Uncle Ben dying is pivotal to his origin. It's one of those things that you can't have one without the other. Batman, his parents died. Superman, Krypton explode. You gotta have one with the other. And a lot of the superheroes, at least on the Teen Titans, their origin is tied directly to who they are as people. Robin's whole thing is trying to prove himself as an effective leader Batman.
Yeah. It's very odd to me that we have Anna doing this and the next movie, which is Wonder Woman.
Oh my god.
Bro.
What? Is she fucking James Gunn or something? Why does she keep getting projects? Stop giving her stuff.
Getting 3 projects. I mean, he said he really liked her script for Supergirl. I'm like, you like that? You like that? I mean, it's tough for me to also believe that James Gunn sincerely, knowing how good he is at stories, liked the ending of what I'm hearing. And you know what? I gotta watch it. Maybe I'm gonna watch it and be like, oh, everyone's tripping. But from everything I understand, it's like, no, James Gunn, this seems like something that you would find almost pedestrian.
Yeah, very generic. It's very generic. I'm gonna say something and it's not gonna make sense till you watch it. It's very John Wick. Like it wants to be that. It's trying to be like John Wick but superhero. Like it's when and it's not super duper like that, but like you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it.
Okay, I'm gonna see it this weekend.
The thing I want to know who the fuck she's related to, because why do they keep giving her projects?
It's a lot, bro. The Sergeant Rock movie or whatever is supposed to be coming out. Sure.
I don't care. I don't care.
Now here's the thing. I'm with whenever you have a good story, you want to tell it. But Sergeant Rock? All right. Cool.
I get what he's trying to do, because his bag is like heroes that nobody knows about and they're making you care. Because no one gave a fuck about the Guardians of the Galaxy.
No.
And now people do. But it's like, who the fuck is Sergeant Rock?
Hey. Now I'm gonna finish it off with this. Gunn has announced Dynamic Duo, which is supposed to be an animated film starring Jason Todd and Dick Grayson, set to release in 2028. I think that's gonna happen. Actually, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm excited about that. Is it? You said animated, right?
The style, produced by Swaybox Studios, is described as a blend of puppetry, CG animation, and stop motion techniques.
I don't like that. I don't like none of those words. None of those words together.
Writer Matthew Aldrich and director Arthur Mintz are attached to the project. It's unclear which continuity this story will take place in.
That's like saying I got bread, I got peanut butter, I got a kiwi, and I got mustard, and I'm gonna put it together in a sandwich, and then I'm gonna put that sandwich in the microwave. What temperature is the microwave on? Nobody knows.
What?
That's what that is to me. It's why.
Other DCU projects, such as Wonder Woman, which we talked about, a film featuring Bane and Deathstroke, have been announced, but details are both sparse. I really need all of these things that James Gunn has said in the open to be reeled back a little bit. Chill, my nigga. You're doing what Marvel did, which I thought you said you weren't going to do. You're announcing all these things, and a lot of these shits are just not going to come to fruition. Like, remember when we heard about Paradise Lost, which is going to be about the Amazons? That shit's just not happening.
Yeah.
It's a dog. Should have never talked about it. Remember that Blue Beetle movie that he's going to come back with? I have no emotion on that. I don't want to hear about things that aren't going to come out for 5-6 years. I mean,
yeah. And the crazy part is, and this is the part I don't understand, is that the blueprint is right there. Like the Justice League War was a great way to not only intro the Justice League, but also give us a big bad and also expand the world a little bit, right? And it was an animated film. So it's like the bones are there, and Superman was good. Superman made me feel something.
Love Superman. But
now we got, I don't think Supergirl was the right move for at least the second part.
I think any good movie could be the right move. It just wasn't, from what I'm hearing, a good movie. I got to see it. So I could totally eat crow on that. From everything like I said before, you're not the only person I've heard these things from. I actually talked to someone who did watch the movie, and I was like, really? They went there? And okay. I got to see how it's executed.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't like the way it's been executed. It's not just me.
It's like it's dull and gray. The only thing it was missing was like a super duper like space laser, like any comic movie that came out in the last like 20 years.
I'm a DC guy. I love DC. Shout out to Absolute Superman. This issue was crazy.
Yeah.
I want them to succeed.
Oh, the Absolute Superman where they.
We can talk about it. It's been over a week.
That John crazy. First off, Black Adam putting belt to ass for
yeah. Fucking up the stratosphere, beating the dog. Yeah. How you beat a nigga ass so bad? The Earth complains. The atmosphere complains. Like, yo, chill. Stop. No mas.
Help.
I want DC to succeed because the more money and attention they get, the more they're willing to either leave my favorite comic books alone or possibly help fund my favorite comic book company, which is DC's. All right.
Yeah.
If they're in dire straits, they're going to tighten belts on everything, including DC.
Yeah.
So I want them to succeed. I'm genuinely hoping that James Gunn writes the ship and the next thing that he releases is going to be a massive hit. And we can all just kind of forget about how underwhelming the performance of this movie is.
Yeah, yeah.
But he needs to tone this shit down.
I wish he had learned from Marvel and have a plan.
Yeah, a more concrete plan. He has a plan. He's just kind of moving it around too much, dog.
Yeah, I don't know. He said he doesn't want Darkseid to be the big bad, so
all right, my nigga. Like, oh, let's not forget that whole Waller series that was supposed to come out with Viola Davis. When the fuck is that supposed to happen?
I was excited for that. That could have been great. Viola Davis is amazing.
That's my favorite actress.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here waiting, willing, ready, and able.
A young Waller? What? Young Waller in the field doing shit, hunting down people with powers and shit? What? What do you mean? That
sounds like Absolute Power, just live action.
Sounds like Absolute Power.
Yeah.
Right there. It's right there.
It's right there. It's right there.
Yeah.
Last thing, and then we'll get to recommendations. The last time the DCU looked like they were just kind of running shit was when James Gunn did Superman, Peacemaker Season 2, and Creature Commandos essentially within 1 year of each other, them being released. I know he has talented people around him. I'm scared that he's going to have a direct hand in everything just for us to get good, content, because that's a very easy way to burn out.
Hire Deniz Camp.
Hire Deniz Camp. No, leave him alone. I need him to keep writing good comic books. Please, please, Nick, please. Please.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah, man. All right, man. Recommendations. Hit me with something.
My recommendation this week is The Legend of Vox Machina. The series is wrapping up, or did wrap up. I believe it's got like one episode left, but it is my favorite thing right now. If you ever wanted to play D&D, but were unsure how D&D mechanics work or what it looks like, watch Vox Machina. It'll walk you through.
Okay. I have to go with, was there ever a doubt?
Never.
Martian Manhunter. Listen, there was a whole bunch of stuff in this comic that we didn't get to talk about. The government is plotting against the Martian and John Jones. Shout out to America. Darkseid is way more involved than we would like to believe. And hug your sons. If he doesn't want to be hugged, give him a fist bump. This fucking book was incredible.
Yeah, find out what language he wants to speak through.
Yeah, and talk to your wife, niggas. Come on. Talk to your wife. All right, y'all. That was another grand episode of Dots and Lines. Please like, share, subscribe. I hope that you enjoyed this as much as we enjoyed creating it. We will see you again next week. We're going to have some things to talk about and some things to do. Talk to your wife. Goodbye.